Hi, so it's been probably about a year since I've been on YouTube. I just wanted to come back on and do an update. I think sometimes I just enjoy having someone to talk to, and YouTube is it for me at the moment. But yeah, there's have been a lot of changes and some spiritual changes that I thought I could share, seeing my channel is mostly spiritually oriented. Um, and I think a lot of my external changes have possibly caused the spiritual changes, although I don't know. Um, uh, okay, so this is my second attempt at this video. I must stop rolling my eyes. One of the reasons I'm redoing the video is because I kept on rolling my eyes in the previous video. Also, my phone memory was full and it stopped me in the middle of the video. And I think I waffled a little bit. Yeah, so I've had a lot of changes happen in the last 6 months or so. Um, I my freelance editing business wasn't doing so well. 2020 was a tough year, and the beginning of 2021 was even worse. And then beginning of 22, it was just getting worse, and I would go for long patches of time without having any editing jobs, and then the ones that I was getting were all lower paying jobs, which was making it increasingly difficult to sustain the family. And although I'm very blessed that my ex husband does pay a decent maintenance, um, with 3 kids in the house, young adult kids, and life being so expensive now since COVID and stuff like that, it was becoming challenging to make ends meet, and I didn't realize how much unconscious stress I was carrying. Anyway, so I applied for a job. It just all fell together. I had to do about a 3 week trial period in the job to see if I was suitable because I didn't have any experience working in a newsroom, editing news articles. But I got the job, and I'm just really grateful because it's such a blessing. Um, I'm still continuing with my clients, but yeah, it's taken a big burden off. But the commute from my home, well, the rental home where we were staying was just really stressful. Um, I was getting a lift. I had joined a lift club, but it was just time consuming and tiring, and I didn't like the route that was taken. Like, it was a freeway or a highway, and I don't enjoy going on them, and just long and early in the morning, late at night. So we were also looking at downsizing because my ex will stop paying a large amount of the maintenance at the end of the year. So we found um, a beautiful rental home in inland, west of the Durban coast, in the Upper Highway area, and it's a beautiful area. It's very, um, as some people say, naturey. There's a lot of trees and there's waterfalls in the area, and it just the bird life is amazing. Um, just the whole vibe. There's a lot of nature reserves, and walks to go on, although we haven't really had a chance to explore that side of things. Um, yeah, so although this wasn't the cheapest rental option, I just really felt this like inner knowing that this was the right place to take, and I'm very glad that I chose it. The landlord is very nice. The other people that live here are very nice. It's just all round a good decision. And even our cats are happier because our neighbour at the previous place had an angry dog that was always barking at them and trying to get over the fence and attack us. And I mean, I even got attacked by the dog. I've still got a scar from it on my foot. Anyway, so externally, it's been mostly good, although I do find I have less free time, and parts of my spiritual practice I've been struggling a bit with, like tarot and meditation. But I've had some other breakthroughs spiritually. But I wanted to talk largely about my tarot slump. Even though I don't know, my joy, my excitement about tarot has just sort of fizzled out, and I think it's partly busyness, and but I think it's also a little bit of delusionment, like asking the tarot questions and getting answers that are confusing, and then going for readings, and the readings contradict each other. And I was in a long distance relationship for pretty much a large part of last year, with a man in the UK. We didn't get a chance to meet, but we had a lot in common, spiritually, and at the time I really felt, okay, I'm rolling my eyes again. I'm gonna stop rolling my eyes. I really felt that right about it, like I just had this knowing inside, but it didn't work out. Anyway, towards the end, when issues were coming up in the relationship, okay, let me go back a bit. When we first started out chatting and that, I asked for a reading from a psychic medium that I know from online, and she gave me a fairly positive reading about the relationship. So I felt like the go-ahead, to go for it and to get to know him. And I mean, we used to spend hours chatting on the phone, video calls, all sorts. And it was just like really special. But we were having struggles, and it wasn't progressing towards meeting, or I don't know, there were just so many barriers in the way. So I asked her for another reading, and that reading sort of contradicted almost everything in the first reading, saying that I need to break it off, that I'm in this relationship because I have low self-esteem, low self-love, which, I don't know. And she also said that my late mother, who died when I was 6, in spirit was saying, like, she almost sounded angry, like, you need to get out. And I was angry and hurt. Like, I thought, well, you haven't been with me all these years. Who are you to tell me what to do? Which is so stupid, because our ancestors are always around us, but I hadn't felt her. And then I was like confused and angry, like, how can you tell me what to do? And you told me before that this relationship is positive, and now you're saying we must at least take a break. But I felt like bullied. I think it also stemmed from some religious trauma, where in the church I always felt like you had to obey what the pastor said over the pulpit, and you had to obey the Bible, no matter what you felt like doing, no matter your own heart's desires, no matter what you thought was right for you, or even just what you wanted to do. So I didn't listen, but then the relationship ended about a month after that anyway, so I don't know. So I think that played quite a big part in my tarot slump, because I also went onto Etsy and I bought, I think, a couple of relationship readings, just very general questions, and specifically from people who know nothing about my situation. They don't know me at all they know is my name, my email address. So I got those readings, and I only remember what the one said. It said something about I need to build up my self-esteem before I get into relationships. So that was very difficult to hear, because I've been like single for 6 years, and yeah, I went to a relationship, and I know people say, oh, you got to love yourself first. But I've been working really hard on self-love. I know there's always more work to do, but you're never going to get to the point where your self-love is like totally at optimal level, like you don't need to learn anymore. It's a learning curve, it's a journey. And why do we always feel that we have to be totally like got it all together in the self-love department before we can be in a relationship? A lot of the time we can learn about ourselves and about life while being in a relationship. So yeah, I just found the whole lot confusing and upsetting. And also, like, if you look at my astrology chart, a lot of my planets are in the 7th house of relationships. So I know it's a big part of my life that a growth thing for me. So if it's something that I need to grow in, why am I forbidden from doing it? So those were my thoughts. So I've just went a few months afterwards. I just decided to go on Tinder or a few dating sites. Not much luck. I'm chatting to one guy, but I don't know if anything's going to happen. I don't know how I feel about him. It's like unsure. He's pretty open-minded about, he's not religious, which I like. Pretty open-minded about life. Don't know. We'll see how it goes. He doesn't really get my spiritual side, especially what I'm learning at the moment. Not that he's anti it, it's just he sees things in a different way, and that's natural. You're not going to ever meet someone who sees things exactly the same as you. That's like, we're all such complex human beings. Anyway, so that's the reason for my tarot slump. I haven't been buying decks as much. I bought a couple of second-hand decks and I did a few tarot swaps this year, but nothing that's overly exciting. But I've just bought a second-hand deck, a fairy tarot, so I'm hoping that's going to breathe new life into my tarot practice, because it's just almost dead. It's just not working. And I used to love tarot. But anyway, not to say on all sides my spiritual life isn't going well, because that's not true. So a few months back, well, I've worked with several goddesses. My first feeling a few years ago was to work with the Morrigan, reluctantly in the beginning, but it worked well, and she taught me a few things about standing up for myself and that. But then it just suddenly I felt like no more, almost like she pushed me away, and it was very upset. Not very upsetting, but like, huh? And then it's like she told me, I want you to work with Bridget. So I worked with Bridget a little bit, and she's very warm and comforting and nice. And yeah, I've just felt we needed healing in our family and light and warmth and that. And she brought it in. And yeah, so, but then that just sort of pretty much ran its course. Not to say I won't go back to working with her. And I used to burn a candle when I meditated in honor of her. I wrote her a few things in my journal, spoke to her in that. But then, just about a month and a half ago, I think we'd already moved, and I just felt this strong desire to get a Mother Mary statue. Like, okay. Now I know that Kelly Ann Maddox, who's a very open-minded, witchy person, she works with Mother Mary. Anyway, so I ordered a statue from this online place, and it came pretty soon after, and it's so beautiful. I'm going to show you. I keep it next to my bed, and just felt such a gentle, maternal, motherly feeling from Mary. And it was strange because I've got so many things that trigger me about Christianity because of my religious trauma, my experiences in the past. So, like, why am I drawn to Mother Mary? But I was never Catholic, so we were always told in the evangelical church that the Catholics were making an idol of Mary and they should not be praying to Mary. And yeah, but I was just drawn to that aspect of the divine feminine, the nurturing, the motherly aspect of her. It's something about her. I can't explain it. I just knew that I had to work with her. And then Kelly Ann Maddox made a post on Facebook about Mother Mary. So I was reading the comments, and I said something in the comments. I can't remember what I said. And a woman commented, it wasn't Kelly, and it was some other person on the internet, and they told me about a book. It's called The Way of the Rose by, oh gosh, Perdita Finn, and, oh, I can't remember his name. Oh gosh. Anyway, they are a married couple, and I love their names. Anyway, so this book, it's just amazing. What's the guy's name? I think, was it Cary Grant? Anyway, he was a Buddhist monk, and he had a appearance of Mother Mary appear to him. Now, years ago, I heard about all the Mother Mary sightings, the Virgin Mary sightings all over the world, and like I thought, what is this? Like, I was a Christian at the time, and I thought, I thought Mother Mary wasn't supposed to be worshipped, and then wow, all these people seeing Mother Mary appear to them and healing them and helping them, and it baffled me. So anyway, he's this Buddhist guy. I don't think he's a monk anymore, but he still does his Buddhist meditations, and this Virgin Mary appears to him, but like really tangible, and gives him a message. And eventually she carries on appearing to him and giving him more messages, but she tells him about praying the rosary, how those who pray, like praying the rosary, bring healing to the earth and will bring healing to our lives. The book was quite poetic because the guy author, he is a poet. And it was a little bit abstract at times, but it was just incredible. And some of the poems that he wrote about the Divine Mother and how she's there for us and how we can pray to her. And so I think the day I downloaded the book, I was out shopping and I went to a charity shop and I found a secondhand rosary. I've been wanting prayer beads for a long time. So I found this rosary in the shop. Oh, it's beautiful. Wait, let me show you. It's from Lourdes in... Oh, wait, I don't think it's focusing. Lourdes in Italy. No, France. Sorry, France. The beads are made of glass. I was a bit like, about the crucifix at the bottom. I don't like the whole violence of the Jesus dying on the cross for our sins. I don't like that idea. Like a violent, wrathful God killing his own son, and then people say, oh no, but the son chose to do it, but I don't know, I don't like it. Anyway, so I started to pray the rosary, but I rewrote the Our Father, because if you look at the rosary, it's got how many beads? I think 150 beads. So there's the beads on their own, and then there's the beads in groups. And here you get 5 groups of 5 and a bead on its own in between. So, 5 groups of 10. So the beads of 10, you say the Hail Mary. And then the beads in the middle, you say the Our Father. And I thought, how am I going to do this? It's so Christian. So, but I just wanted to try this. There's something in it. It's calling to me. So I started doing it and I rewrote my own Our Father. Instead of saying, forgive us our trespasses, I say something. I'll recite what I've written. Our Father who art in heaven, sacred is your name. May your love permeate the earth. May we learn to love. Something like that. Sorry. Give us today our daily bread. Heal us of our brokenness and separation illusion, and help us not live in judgment of one another. Show us the right path for us and protect us. And then the Hail Mary, if you take out the sinner's part, it's Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with you. Blessed are you among women, blessed is the fruit of your womb. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us now and at the hour of our death. Now, it sounds morbid, but it's not. Because it's all based on the earth and how there are cycles of spring, like the maiden, Mother Crone. The maiden is like spring, the mother is like summer, and then the crone is like autumn and winter. And then like everything dies in winter and then it comes to life again in spring. And that's pretty much how our planet works. And it's also pretty much how we work, because we have multiple lives. That's what I believe. But also within our current life, there are seasons where we go through struggles and certain things in our lives die off, but then a new spring comes with new growth, and then we reach a summer where we're productive and giving out to others, and then we go through a dying off period again. But that's how the mother looks after us. That's how we grow. That's how we evolve. And yeah, so I started praying it, and in the beginning it was really hard because also I didn't know the the prayers. And so the book also encourages you to start asking for what you desire. And for some reason, since I stopped being a Christian, prayer's been really difficult. And that's one thing that I really missed about